Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, October 11th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, SMX. Big mover today on this one, and an interesting trend line. At least I find it pretty interesting. I got to think that a lot of other people are probably watching something very similar to this trend line right there as a key breakout point headed into tomorrow on Wednesday. So are there guarantees? No such thing as a guarantee, but is it plausible to think that if the price can come up to that trend line and get a break up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? In my mind, that is a more than plausible, potential scenario. So if you are somebody that likes to play breakouts, and I definitely keep an eye on that trend line right there. For those people that like to play more so pullbacks, then in my mind, the interesting pullback area is this former area of resistance right here at $2.15. So change that to represent the color there of a support. So overall, like I said, these are going to be the main dynamics. Now, maybe you don't think that anything really pertains until the price gets up around these areas of resistance right there around 345. And I can understand that. But, by using that trend line right there, you can at least maybe try to anticipate a break of that area. But everybody's different, and I understand everybody's going to, approach a trade plan from a different standpoint. But in my mind, these are going to be the two main levels to watch headed into the next couple of days. Next one here, SBCB, and nice pattern here that has formed. The trend line here that I think even more people are going to be watching compared to the other one is that level right there, just because that is such just a basic trend line to put in a place there. And a lot of times basic is the best, because when a lot of people are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So as I've said, no guarantees, but it's certainly plausible that if the price goes up there and breaks through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure, just because people are saying, hey, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm supposed to buy. And then for that reason alone, that could spur that much more momentum. So keep an eye on that from the resistance side of things. As far as supports are concerned, have this bottom part of the consolidation right here at 79 cents. And then just to keep in this situation, the pattern, the same color, maybe make it easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right there. For you golfers out there, make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, if you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one, PLTR, and continues to grind higher and higher. So the first thing I'm going to do is just extend this trend line out, put that in play, and I want to continue to follow it because in my mind, that's going to be the main level to watch. And it's also broken above that area of resistance, which is good. But I'm going to just get rid of that level there. Yeah, it still pertains, but just to try to not have lines everywhere you look and create clutter and potential confusion. Want to try to keep this as clean as possible. So I'm just focusing here on that trend line as that main area of support. And then in terms of new levels of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated here. Just keep an eye on that level right there at $18.30. You can see that's essentially where the party stopped today, earlier on in the day. So again, no fancy logic or fancy tools or anything like that. Literally just a question of where did the party stop today? And it stopped again right up there around $18.30. But all in all, nice movement here. Yes, you do have essentially this wedge formation that's starting to form. So can the price get up to that area and break through it? So that'll be the main dynamic to watch over the next couple of days. Next one here, INO, absolutely monster move this afternoon. Not a whole lot was going on. I mean, day started off, and there was a little bit of a gap up, so don't get me wrong. But then this afternoon, you can see the volume just poured in. Nice move up, and yeah, the prices pulled back here a little bit. But just broadly speaking, very, very impressive day here for the chart. So first key level of resistance is going to be what I would call, the top part of this general area right up here. We'll call that up around that 57-cent mark. So 57 cents, give or take a little bit in either direction, is going to be that main battleground to watch resistance-wise. And once more, nothing fancy behind that logic, just a question of where did the party finally stop. And again, generally speaking, right up around that area right there. In terms of areas of support, level to keep an eye on. Right here around that area, down around, in fact, why don't I just do this? That consolidation area right there at, we'll call it 48 cents. So again, let me change that to represent color of support. And it's really basically that straightforward. Now, as far as how do you play it, I don't know. If you like to play the choppiness back and forth, then yeah, you could play that. If you like to play breakouts, you could play that. If you like to play breakdowns, you could play that. So how you play it is definitely up to you, but in my opinion, these are going to be the main levels that make the most sense to build a potential trade plan around. Next one here, AMC, another good solid day. And in fact, we have a nice little pattern here that I want to get into play. And once again, with this talking point of the self-fulfilling prophecies, got to think that a lot of people have drawn that trend line right there. Again, nothing fancy behind that, no special skills, just a very basic understanding of, trend lines. And when you have those basic levels, as I've already said, then you can get those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. So keep an eye on that level. But really at the core, what matters most is this thing continues to put in higher highs and higher lows. And as long as that continues, then the trend overall remains very much so in the bull's favor. Now, if the price pulls back deeper, then still, even with a deep pullback, I mean, think about it. And I'm not saying this will occur, but even if the price dropped all the way here before finally going sideways, I mean, think about what you still have from the big picture point of view. You'd still have lows there, lows there, lows there, and you'd have lows even further down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, well, from the big picture, you'd still very clearly have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So even with a bigger pullback here, still plenty of opportunity to chip away and build a higher base, and that is by far what matters most. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in a couple of weeks. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. Now, on one special note, maybe you don't feel like waiting all the way till then. Maybe you don't need to, be there live and you just want to watch one of the past classes. If that's you, then go ahead, send me an email and I'd be happy to send you a link to one of the past classes. But if you do want to make it live, then definitely get signed up and I'll see you here in a couple weeks. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and a big day here, not necessarily because of the green day, but because the price broke through some very, very important levels, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watch past videos, but if you did, then you should remember me having drawn in that trend line right there. You can see destroyed during the opening 30 minutes. Then I've been talking about that red line over and over again, and again, during that same opening 30 minutes, broken right there. So overall, good movement from that angle. But the one update that does need to be done, and this is just basic technical analysis, is that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And you could throw this right into a textbook because check it out. Big move up. Then you had the pullback, and oh, what a coincidence. Surprise, surprise. Price started to level out there right at that area of support, which is definitely a good sign and showing that this breakout potentially does have some genuine long-lasting effects. So, we'll see if the price can stay above there. Now, if the price does drop below it, not the end of the world, but that any sort of drop below that level would imply that the price is once again, right back inside of this, kind of sideways channel that it was struggling to get up through. But as of right now, the price stayed above that area, and you ideally certainly want to see that remain the case moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. In terms of areas of resistance, once again, the not fancy logic, just asking yourself the question, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at $269 right there. So keep an eye on that moving forward. But all in all, got the breakout today. Now let's see if the price can continue to build upon this momentum. Next one, AMD, and same general idea as Tesla. For those of you that watched the previous video, hopefully you remember me talking about these resistance levels. So that initial level right there, very, very nicely broken during the opening 30 minutes. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And then as far as this area is concerned, the price is slightly above it. What I'm going to do is actually adjust this area down here a little bit now that we have more data and call the 108.20 mark that near-term level of support. So 108.20 near-term level of support. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that level for now. And that's going to be the ideal level when you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And definitely if the price can stay above 108.20. Now, with that being said, don't get me wrong. It's not like if the price falls below that area, then the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price can stay above that level, that would certainly be best case scenario. From the bigger picture point of view, keep an eye on that purple line there, 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving, so as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, then the overall trend definitely belongs in the bull's favor. Next one here, NIO, and I want to just go through history here because this will make a whole lot more sense. Let me get through that. But this is a line that I talked about previously. Whoops, right there at 887 as an area of support. You can see that one of the last times I did the video, I can't remember when that was, several days ago, but that area had very clearly become an area of support, again, right there at 887. But as I've said with the rule, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So now let's just see how the price has gone in regards to that area. So right there, you can see acted as resistance a couple of times right there. And then as we catch up in history, you can see right there, acted as resistance. Then we still got to go further to catch up in history. And then you had that big movement today, and wouldn't you know it, once again, that area is behaving as resistance. So 887 definitely being very stubborn and very annoying, but I just wanted to show you all that just so you can see why it makes sense, why that level is acting as resistance. Does not mean that the price can never get back above it or anything like that. I'm just pointing out why, that level is an area of resistance and why it makes sense in terms of, the location of where the price is currently struggling. If there is any sort of bigger pullback here, key areas of support are going to be down here at both that 200 period moving average and the 50 period moving average. But anyway, look at it. Very, very big move up today. It's knocking on the door of 887. So maybe tomorrow is finally the day where the price gets back up above it. Next one here, AMZN, Amazon, and good solid move here, and we gave ourselves a nice little technical pattern. And Amazon, a lot of people have heard it. So good popular stock, and when you get these sorts of patterns, you can start to talk about, once again, those self-fulfilling prophecies, because you got to think a lot of people are probably watching this pattern, wondering the same types of things. So it just makes it interesting to watch from a pattern standpoint. And then once again, let me get this all changed to the same color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upwards move right here, we have a golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I believe the other bull pennant we talked about was on a penny stock, but here is definitely something that's not a penny stock. So whether you like to trade higher price stocks, maybe you like to trade options, but you like bull pennants, and this is definitely a situation that I certainly keep an eye on with Amazon. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to rise, this one will also rise, makes it a very popular ETF out there. So as far as updates are concerned, definitely a nice day today as it's broken up through some areas of resistance, and you've heard me say it, but once again, you can see the price got up through that level of resistance, so broke right there. So at that point in time, resistances you then want to see act as support, and when you know it, you can throw it right into a textbook. Prices pulled back and started to go sideways, literally right at that level. So just classic example of the power of charts. I am going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose now. So I've already said all this, but I'll just say it once again. What would be the ideal level of support on this one? Staying up above that 38.45 mark. But if the price, falls below it, not the end of the world, because from the overarching standpoint, that purple line there, moving average, as long as the price stays above it as it moves higher, the overall trend is in the bull's favor. And then again, just very simplistically, ask yourself the question, where did the party finally stop today? That was right up there at 39, let's call it 35. So that'll be the main area of resistance. But overall for the NASDAQ, good solid move today. Yeah, it's got a bit of a pullback here, but as of now, and I'll draw this very crudely, basically a little miniature kind of bull pennant flag in and of itself. So keep an eye on that as it has pulled back, but has not violated any other previous lows or anything like that. So overall, good solid day. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely go get signed up for that free training. Like I said, it'll be relatively soon, Thursday, October 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But also, like I said, if you don't feel like waiting until October 19th and you'd rather watch it before then just go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to one of the other classes I've done on it. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, even if you just say hi, give me a smiley face. Tell me what you traded today, give me your watch list for tomorrow. But hitting that comment or leaving a comment, hitting the like button, help out the algorithm, help out the channel, and I appreciate you and thank you in advance for it. So get signed up for that class, or just go ahead, send me an email, hit the like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.